Hi everyone, welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming operational case study examinations happening in August 2023. My name is Nick and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for OCS at TCS. So let's look at what the series of webinars comprises of. So first things first, before looking at the content of these webinar series, let me talk about the outcomes of this session. So in this session, I'll be taking you through the, I'll be providing an overview into the OCS exam because this might be your first time when it comes to attempting your OCS exam, or you might have attempted OCS previously, but if you are coming through an exemption route, it's of utmost importance that you understand the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to the OCS exam because mind you, out of the three case studies conducted by CIMA, OCS, MCS, and ACS, OCS is the hardest. Why am I saying it? Because 85% of the time you would see theory is being tested heavily, especially theories pertaining to P1 and F1 syllabuses. So a higher amount of weightage is provided for the P1 syllabus. So you need to have a good understanding about the content which is covered under the P1 syllabus. And on top of that, you need to have have some type of you need to be conversant about the F1 syllabus as well, because IASs as well as IFRSs, your knowledge pertaining to these areas, as well as working capital management, all these things will be tested in your exam. So you need to have a good understanding about the theoretical elements. And on top of that, you need to understand the technical nitty-gritties which are applicable to the OCS exam. So all these things we will be covering in tonight's session, as well as in the two remaining free webinars which we are conducting. And in the second part of tonight's session, I will be taking you through an 8-week study plan. When preparing for your OCS exam, it's of importance that you stick to a study plan, because what I've seen is throughout my career as a CIMA tutor for the past 11 years, I've seen students, a majority of the students out there, they wait until the last moment to start preparations. So what happens is they'll wait until the last week or last 2 weeks before the exam, and they'll try to rush the preparation process. So when you try to rush it, you run out of time. And when you run out of time, what happens is you cannot attempt mock exams, because this is your first CIMA case study. And as I told you earlier, this is the hardest out of the three case studies. So in such an environment, it's important that you attempt 5 mock exams under exam conditions. If not, your chances of passing the exam is extremely low. So having that in mind, that's exactly why we have prepared an 8-week study plan, because if you stick to it, you won't rush the preparation process. You would have enough time to go through all the study material, attempt mock exams, seek tutor feedback, and you'd have enough time to relax closer to the exam. So when all the other students are, trying to work wonders within the last 2 weeks leading up to the exam, you will be relaxing. It's of utmost importance that you have a positive mindset, a relaxed mindset right before you walk into the exam. So that's what we try to achieve via the 8-week study plan. So let me talk about these things in the second part of tonight's session. So let me also remind you about the upcoming webinars. Remember that all three webinars which we are conducting in lieu of the upcoming sessions in August are done free of charge. So anybody can join these sessions. So in today's session, I'll be taking you through the study techniques. And in the upcoming webinar, which is happening on the 24th of June, which is next Saturday, I'll be taking you through answering technique. Out of the three webinars, the most important is what's happening on the 24th of June, next Saturday, because I'll be taking you through a mini mock. And based on the question of the mini mock, I'll explain what you need to do when it comes to developing something called an answer plan. Because when providing answers at your exam, You can't simply read the question and straight away start typing the answer. Instead, you have to allocate a certain amount of time to plan your answer properly. So that's what this answering technique is about. And as part of this answering technique, I will also highlight a time management technique, because if you stick to this time management technique, you will never run out of time. Take it from me, a majority of students who are attempting their OCS exam, they end up failing because they run out of time. This is a highly time pressured exam. So if you do not know how to manage your time, and if you provide half-hearted answers or rushed answers, or if you provide incomplete answers, your chances of passing the exam is extremely low. So in order to find solutions to all these problems, you need to stick to this answer planning technique as well as time management technique. And whenever you are practicing mock exams, you need to keep on replicating these techniques so that you become a pro at it, because you can't simply, just because you know these answer planning and time management technique, you cannot simply replicate it at the exam. Instead, you need to keep practicing this technique so that it will be your bread and butter at the examination, at the real examination. So I'll be taking you through all these things in the second webinar. And in the third webinar, exam prep, which is happening on the 8th of July, I'll be taking you through the comments made by the examiner, because it's of utmost importance that you understand what is requested from you, the type of or the quality of answers requested from you. And you need to understand the psychology of the examiner in order to be in a position to gain really good marks. So I'll be taking you through all these things in the third webinar. And in the third webinar itself, I will also highlight what you need to do to improve your level of confidence. And by the third webinar, people who had attempted their exams in May would have gotten their results. And if you had failed the exam, I will also highlight what you need to do to overcome failures when attempting your exam in August. So these are the areas which are covered in the upcoming webinars. So let's get into the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to your OCS exam. So there are two sets of students coming to the OCS level. So there are a set of students coming through the CIMA general route. So if you're one such student, you would have done your E1, F1, and P1 related OTQ exams. So since you had aced your exams, or since you had passed your E1, P1, and F1 related OTQ exams, you know your theory. So in such an environment, what I can simply say is students who are coming through the CIMA general route, they find the OCS exam to be a bit easier relative to students coming through an exemption route, just because of the fact that they had done their E1, P1, and F1 OTQ areas. Okay. But when you look at the other set of students coming through the exemption route, which is known as the FLP route or the Finance Leadership Program route, you need to be really conversant about your knowledge levels, because just because you are coming through an exemption route, if you do not know your P1 and F1, you cannot pass this exam. So so many students out there who have done business degrees or who are halfway through the business degree will get exemptions. But what you need to understand is P1 related areas, especially P1 related areas, or areas pertaining to management accountancy, are not covered within your degree program. So in such an environment, it's of utmost importance that you learn theory. If not, you cannot pass this exam. But you need not worry, although I'm telling you the truths with regards to the type of problems faced by students coming through the exemption route. Although that is the case, there's absolutely nothing for you guys to worry, because we at TCS, we have developed a study program which is specifically tailor-made for students who are coming through the CIMA general route as well as the FLP route. So if you are an FLP student and if you feel that you do not possess an appropriate level of knowledge about theoretical content, there's absolutely nothing to worry. We have conducted a set of master classes, and via these master classes, we are explaining theory as well as how to apply theory in a practical sense. Therefore, you are in a position to gain marks for theory, as well as you are in a position to improve your application skills. So all these things are covered under 20 master classes, which we have already conducted, and these things can be found, the recorded versions can be found on our website. So these things I'll give you information pertaining to what these master classes are, what it covers and what not later on in tonight's webinar. So if you're coming through the CIMA general route, you know your theory, so the exam would be a bit easier for you. But if you're coming through the FLP or an exemption route, it's important that you learn your theory, but you have nothing to worry. We have come up with a study program which fits both these type of students. All right, then let's look at the technicalities pertaining to the exam. Your exam is going to be a PC-based examination, and the time allocation is 3 hours, and you'd see 4 main tasks or 4 main questions within your paper, and each main task carries a time allocation of 45 minutes each. So I told you earlier that most students run out of time because they do not know how to manage these 45 minutes. So if you attend the second or the upcoming webinar, which is happening next Saturday, you would know what you are supposed to do within these 45 minutes. Okay. Then the pass mark is 80 out of 150 or 54%. Right. Then taking you through or providing an overview of the exam, information is provided about a fictitious company in advance via a pre-seen document. So I hope, since this is the second session based on the same pre-seen, I hope you would have already gone through the pre-seen. If not, please, and I hope you guys are part and parcel of our WhatsApp group. And if you are yet to get your hands on the pre-seen material, please drop a message via the WhatsApp group so that our admin can share the necessary information or the document with you. So what we do is at TCS we provide something called an annotated pre-seen. So this is the same pre-seen, but as that's exactly what you can see in here. It's the same pre-seen, but we have made annotations in here. So I myself, since I'm the lead tutor for OCS, I myself have come up with these annotations. So these annotations are done with the intention of taking out the most important information, leaving out the unnecessary information. Because as a student who is preparing for a CIMA case study examination for the first time, there's a tendency for you guys to get overwhelmed when you are bombarded with too much information, which leads to analysis paralysis. So because when you are attempting a CIMA case study for the first time, you will be clueless about which of the information is relevant for me and which of the information is not too relevant. So in order to help you overcome this problem, which is linked to analysis paralysis, what we have done is we have come up with a set of annotations, thereby simply put, summarizing the entire pre-seen. So only the most important information can be seen in here. And on top of that, via the annotations, we provide hints about syllabus areas which can be tested. And on top of that, we also provide hints about probable areas or scenarios which can be tested at your real exam. So if you go through these annotated pre-seen, you would have an in-depth understanding about the information which is shown within the pre-seen. And on top of that, life becomes easy because all the information will be provided in a summarized manner. All right. So that's what the annotated pre-seen is about. So via the pre-seen document, the examiner is giving you an introduction into the chosen company. Give me a second, please. Someone's mic is on. Let me mute it. All right. Sorry about that. So yeah, so I was talking about the pre-seen document. So via these pre-seen, the examiner will give you provide an introduction into the company. And on top of that, the examiner will talk about the industry dynamics, because you need to know about the industry dynamics when preparing for the examination. And on top of that, the examiner will provide you information about the internal dynamics. That's the most important part, because you need to know about what happens within your own organization. And on top of that, in the last part, or the fourth, as the fourth part of the pre-sim document, the examiner gives you an indication about the financial performance of the company by providing you with financial statements, such as the statement of financial position, or the balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, as well as the statement of cash flows. So all these information is provided as part of the pre-scene. And in the exam, you are required to address issues or questions relating to the operations of the company. So as you know, any given company can be mainly divided into three main parts. As these three parts are the strategic level, the tactical level, as well as the operational level. So the strategic level is where you find the board members. So the board members are involved with the long-term decision making or strategy development of the company. So they need to have something called an outside in view. So they need to think about the external dynamics, external environment. They need to think about the competitors, customers, suppliers, all external stakeholders. They need to think about the external stakeholders or the external environment before arriving at decisions. So that's what the strategic level guys are up to. Then at the tactical level, you get middle management, which creates the link between the individuals who carry out daily operations within a company, as well as its long-term decision makers. So that comprises of the middle level management, the tactical level. And at the operational level, you find the individuals or the employees as well as managers who are involved with the day-to-day running of the company. So the strategic level guys or the board members will take decisions pertaining to the long term of the company. And when it comes to implementing these decisions on a daily basis, that's where the operational level staff members come into play. So what you need to understand is you will be tested, or questions will be thrown at you relating to the operations of the company. So there is no decision making involved at the operational level. You are not supposed to be involved with long-term decision making. Instead, you are supposed to assist decision makers. So the decisions will be made by managers, senior managers, the CFO and whatnot. You are simply supposed to assist decision making. That's what your role is. And you are always remember, you are involved with daily operations of the company. So by developing questions or throwing questions at you, the CIMA examiner is trying to check your knowledge about the company and the industry. So if you go through our annotated pre-scene, and we have already developed 4 pre-scene analysis videos. So if you go through these 4 videos and if you refer to the annotated pre-scene, you'd gain an in-depth knowledge about the company and the industry. So that is sorted. And on top of that, the CIMA examiner is trying to figure out whether you have an appropriate level of knowledge about E1, P1, and F1 related syllabus areas. Just because you know your theory, you cannot pass this exam. Instead, you need to understand how to apply your knowledge to a practical situation or an issue which is faced by the company. All right. So you need to know E1, P1, and F1. And on top of that, you need to understand how to apply this knowledge to a real life business situation. So there's absolutely nothing to worry about these areas, because when developing the mock exams, we have covered all syllabus areas pertaining to E1, P1, and F1 syllabus content. And on top of that, when conducting the master classes, we have already explained, since we have covered all syllabus content via the 5 mock exams, based on the mock exams only, we have developed the master classes. And because of that, whilst explaining you the answers, the logic behind the answers, we have highlighted how to improve your application skills as well. So if you attempt the 5 mock exams, you will be covering the entire theory. And on top of that, entire syllabus rather. And on top of that, if you watch the 20 master classes, you learn all the logic behind the theoretical elements or the syllabus. And on top of that, you learn how to improve your application skills as well. All right, so let's look at your role. So at the exam, you are supposed to play the role of a finance officer. So as I told you earlier, you are at the lowest level of the organization. You are at the operational level. So as the finance officer, you are reporting to your superior, who is the finance manager. So you are reporting directly to the finance manager. Finance manager directly reports to the senior finance manager. Senior finance manager directly reports to the CFO of the company. That's what you need to remember. So you need not be too conversant about what the senior finance manager as well as the CFO is up to. Your relationship is to report to the finance manager. So the finance manager will ask your opinion about, day-to-day running of the company. The finance manager might ask your opinion about a theoretical area, something like there could be a question where, as per the information provided in the pre-scene, within Trax Europe, there's absorption costing being used, but there could be a situation where the board members are thinking about changing the costing method to something like activity-based costing or ABC. So in such an environment, your finance manager will ask your opinion about, or ask your information about the advantages and disadvantages of changing to an activity-based costing system. So in such an environment, you are supposed to simply provide the information which is requested for. So you are not, as I told you earlier, you are not supposed to be involved with decision making. Instead, you will be assisting the decision makers. And on top of that, you are supposed to provide the necessary amount of information, necessary level of information as requested by your finance manager. So that's what you need to remember. And if you go through our mock exams, you'd understand to what extent your knowledge is tested pertaining to the daily running of the company. And on top of that, looking at application and practical thinking, a moderate level of application and practical thinking is expected for OCS. So as I told you earlier, theories are heavily tested, and a greater level of prominence is provided for F1 and P1 related syllabus content. And on top of that, when it comes to decision making, you're not supposed to be involved with decision making, because that does not fall under the responsibility of a finance officer who is located at the lowest level of the organization or the operational level of the organization. All right, so let's look at the to-do list. What are you supposed to do when it comes to preparing for your exam? First things first, you need to read the annotated pre-scene. You saw what an annotated pre-scene looks like. So you have to go through the document first. Then you are supposed to watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos where we have covered the introduction, industry analysis. We have highlighted information pertaining to company operations, as well as based on the financial statements, we have conducted a financial analysis. So after watching these 4 videos, you would have an in-depth understanding about what is covered under the pre-scene document. Then you are supposed to practice 5 exam standard mock exams. Why 5 mock exams? Because I've seen many students, although we are providing 5 mock exams, there's a tendency for students to just attempt 1 or 2 mock exams. Why is that the case? Because as I told you earlier, students wait until the last moment to start preparation. So they do not have enough time to attempt 5 mock exams. So instead, they end up attempting just 1 or 2. If you attempt just 1 or 2 mock exams, you cannot pass the exam, because you need to cover the entire syllabus. If you are to cover the entire syllabus, you have to attempt 5 mock exams. That is a must. If you do not do this, chances of you passing the exam is extremely low. Take it from me, you will know this after you attempt your exam for the second time. Because when I listen to students, what they say is, when I discuss mistakes with them, what they say is that when they were preparing for the first time, they did not allocate enough time for preparation. So they ended up running out of time. Because of that, they only attempted 1 or 2 mock exams. And that is the main reason for failure if you look at the OCS level. So you have to practice 5 mock exams. If not, you can forget about passing the exam in August. Then you have to attend live webinars and workshops. So we are conducting 3 free webinars, but on top of these free webinars, if you opt for paid content, you would have access to more webinars as well as live workshops with me. Depends on the type of investment you are prepared to make based on the different types of packages which we are providing. So you can attend live webinars as well as workshops, and you are supposed to refer to slides pertaining to industry analysis, financial analysis, top 10 likely issues, and theory recaps pertaining to E1, F1, and P1. So via these theory recaps, we are summarizing the entire syllabus so that you can easily understand and brush up your knowledge in these areas. So let me take you through the industry analysis slide. So this is what you'd get your hands on. So within the industry analysis slides, we are covering 4 main areas. We are providing an overview into providing an overview into the industry so that you understand the real life industry dynamics. And we are also explaining the competitive landscape, highlighting industry trends, because based on these industry trends, certain scenarios can be thrown at you at the real exam. And at the very end, we provide the examples into 2 real life companies as well. So by going through the set of slides, you can easily understand the industry dynamics. And if you understand the industry dynamics, it's extremely easier for you to predict the type of questions which can be thrown at you at the real exam. And let me also show you the financial analysis slides. So as I told you earlier, these are developed based on the financial statements provided by the CIMA examiner. So as you can see, the SOPL, or the statement of profit and loss, is has been analyzed, and all the most important information has been taken out so that you can easily go through these information which we have provided and understand what type of financial situation the company is faced with. So the same should be said about the statement of cash flows. And at the very end, a ratio analysis is also conducted, and all these ratios, all the main ratios have been evaluated. However, I've made it a point to keep all the information simple as possible, keep it concise so that you can easily understand. And after going through these set of slides, you can easily revise closer to your exam as well. So these are the type of slides you'd get your hands on, and your to-do list does not stop there. You have to watch the 20 pre-recorded master classes. So if you opt for the premium package, or if you invest on the premium package, then you'd get access to these 20 pre-recorded master classes. So via these 20 master classes, what we are doing is we are explaining each and every task of the 5 mock exams. So rather than simply teaching you theory, what we have done is we have come up with a study system where we are explaining the answers of all 5 mock exams. And whilst explaining the logic of each and every answer, we are teaching you theory as well as application. Because what I've experienced is when students learn theory, they do not know how to apply it to a real life question. You might know what activity-based costing is, but you will not know how to apply your knowledge based on what is requested or what the requirement is in your exam. So in order to bridge this gap in application, what we have done is we have developed a set of master classes, 20 master classes in total, where whilst explaining the logic of each and every answer, we are also teaching you theory as well as application. Then once you watch these 20 master classes, you'd have an in-depth understanding about the theoretical elements, as well as you'd understand how theory is tested at the exam and what type of answers you are supposed to provide. And if you stick to the guidelines which we provide, you'd get full marks for application. Okay, so that's what's covered under the 20 pre-recorded master classes. And on top of that, you are supposed to refer to answer plans of mocks 1 to 5. So we are not simply giving you mock exams and suggested answers. We have gone a step further. no other service provider is giving you this service. We have gone a step further and developed a set of answer plans. So if you refer to this answer plan, that's a summary of the entire answer of each and every mock. If you refer to these answer plans, you can easily understand the structure of the answer, the content of the answer, how pre-seen information had been brought into the answer. And this is a study summary, so closer to the exam, rather than going through pages and pages of suggested answers, or rather than trying to figure out the logic behind each and every answer, you can simply refer to the answer plans or the answer summaries which we have developed. So if you stick to if you stick to the study plan, if you stick to this to-do list, you can easily excel at your exam. And on top of that, we also provide personalized tutor feedback from mocks 3 to 5. So this is the type of feedback which we provide. So as you can see, for each and every paragraph, in-depth evaluations have been provided so that you can really understand what your shortcomings are. So throughout the answer, that's exactly what you can see. So I myself have provided these, evaluations. And at the very end, mark allocations are provided. As you can see, we um, give an indication about your success rate as well. So this, if you have for each on a subtask by subtask basis, we try to figure out whether you have gained more than 54%, because as you know, that's the pass mark. So on a subtask by subtask basis, if you score more than 54%, we have highlighted these areas. So as you can see, the student had failed the exam, only gained 62 marks. Why is that the case? Because this individual had only been successful in attempting 3 subtasks. Other than that, in all the other subtasks, this individual needs to improve his or her answer. Okay, so after going through these feedback and after looking at these mark allocations, you are in a position to figure out where you stand as a student and what you need to do to improve the quality of your answers. So this becomes easy because after attempting the mock exam, you are simply supposed to watch the master classes. Then you'd learn theory as well as application, as well as you'd learn the logic of each and every answer. Then after doing that, you are simply supposed to refer to the answer plan. Then you'd know how to improve your answer planning technique as well. All right, and at the very end, a set of general comments are provided, which gives you a hint about what you need to do to improve the quality of your answers. So all these things, within 8 weeks, you are supposed to do all these things. So I'll be taking you through the study plan later on. Then you'd know how easy you think that, all these activities are a lot of work to do. Yes, it is. But if you take it through 8 weeks or spread it across 8 weeks, you can simply get things done easily, because on a week by week basis, you are supposed to only allocate 7 hours of study time. We are not asking you to allocate 14 hours, 21 hours. I know for a fact that you guys are busy. I know for a fact that most of you guys are not into full-time studies. You are into part-time studies. You need to balance your work responsibilities. You have obligations at home. So with all these things, you cannot allocate enough time for studies. I understand that, because I myself was a part-time student when I was preparing for CIMA exams. But there's absolutely nothing to worry. If you can allocate something like 7 hours per week, then you can easily excel your exam. So I'll talk about these things later. So important dates: exam entry closes on the 25th of July 2023. So if you're planning to attempt the exam in August, then you have to book your exam before the 25th of July. And looking at the exam dates, it's spread across 3 days from the 9th to the 11th of August 2023. All right, so let's look at the 8-week study plan. So let me take you to the website. Before we go through the 8-week study plan, any questions, folks? Do you have any questions? Okay, so as I told you earlier, we are in the OCS page of our website. So if you're if you have any friends who are yet to register for the webinar series, you can ask them to simply log into our website and click on this button. They can and they can easily register for the webinar series. And on top of that, if you want to get access to free content, simply click on this button and create a user account, and you would have access to a mini mock and its suggested answer. You'd have access to an answer plan which is based on the mini mock. Then you'd know what I'm talking about pertaining to answer plan. And on top of that, I will be uploading a document pertaining to or which highlights the time management technique as well. And on top of that, the recorded versions of these 3 webinars, which we are conducting on a weekly basis, you can access them via the free content as well. All right, so let's look at the study plan. You can simply log into our website and go through this OCS page where we have provided the study plan so that all your CIMA needs can be fulfilled in one single place. So when looking at the study plan, as you can see, we have come up with a 8-week study system. Okay, week 1 to week 8, 8-week study system. And as I told you earlier, on a weekly basis, you need to just allocate 7 hours of your time. That's what's necessary. You need not do too much because 95% of what you're supposed to do is covered by us at TCS. You are only supposed to attempt the mock exams. Everything else is covered by us. So let me talk about what you're supposed to do once we proceed with the study plan. So let's look at week number 1. What are you supposed to do? You are supposed to attend webinar number 1, study technique. That's exactly what you are doing right now. And you are supposed to go through the OTQ theory revision cards. So as I told you earlier, this is a highly theoretical exam, so you need to know your theory. So it's better to brush up before you attempt mock exams. It's better to brush up your knowledge in these areas pertaining to E1, P1, and F1 related syllabus areas. Then you are supposed to refer to the OCS familiarization kit. Since you are doing your CIMA case study examination for the first time, it's better to get yourself accustomed to the nitty-gritties, the technicalities pertaining to the CIMA exam. Then in week number 2, you are supposed to attend webinar 2 answering technique. As I told you earlier, I'll talk about what you are supposed to do when it comes to developing answer plans and what you need to do when it comes to managing your time in this webinar, in the second one. And watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos, because after watching these 4 videos, you would gain an in-depth understanding about the information which is provided in the pre-scene, and refer to the notated pre-scene, then refer to industry and financial analysis slides. Okay, so up until week number 2, nothing much to do. Then in week 3, things get a bit serious. You are supposed to attempt mock exams from week 3 onwards. So attempt mock number 1 via the exam platform. So we at TCS, we have developed an exam platform which is akin to the Pearson VUE system you would use at your real exam. So rather than, simply walking into your exam and attempting or providing answers or utilizing an exam platform for the first time, it's better if you can get accustomed to the exam platform beforehand when you are preparing for the exam. So that's exactly what we have done. We have developed an exam platform. So when attempting each mock exam from mocks 1 to 5, you are supposed to do it via the exam platform. Then you are getting accustomed to exam conditions. When you are attempting the mock exam via the exam platform, you have to sit in one place and attempt the entire mock exam in one go, thereby allocating 3 hours. What I've seen is most students who do not use an exam platform, or who would just use something like a Word document to type out answers, what these students do is they would attempt task number 1. Let's assume they are attempting mock number 1. So as I told you earlier, each mock consists of 4 main tasks. So when attempting a mock exam, what a student would do is they attempt task number 1 today, task number 2 tomorrow, task number 3 day after tomorrow, and likewise. But at the real exam, you can't break it up, break the 4 tasks into 4 days. Instead, you have to sit in one place and attempt the entire mock exam, attempt all 4 tasks in one go. So you need to get accustomed to sitting in one place and attempting the entire mock, allocating 3 hours and attempting the entire mock in one go. If you do not practice it, you can't do it at the real exam. Take it from me. Okay, I've come across so many students who never who do not want to listen to what we are saying, who will never stick to the tips which we are providing or the guidelines which we are providing, but later on they end up failing the exam. So when attempting the mock exams, do not take it on a task by task basis on different days. Instead, find 3 hours at a stretch, sit in one place and attempt the entire mock in one go. Then you are in a position to practice answer planning technique. You are in a position to practice time management technique. And once you are done with the exam, you will know where you stand as a student. Rather than conning yourself, it's better to be honest, attempt the entire mock in one go and see where you stand. So that's exactly what we want you guys to achieve. So attempt mock number 1 via the exam platform. And once you have watched the mock, once you have attempted the first mock, you are supposed to refer to the 4 master classes pertaining to mock number 1. And as I told you earlier, under each master class, I am taking you through the questions and answers of each and every task. And whilst explaining the logic of each and every answer, I'm teaching you theory as well as application. So if you attempt mock exams, then watch these videos, you are in a position to learn from the process. And that's exactly what you'd need to pass your exam comfortably. And in week number 4, you are supposed to attend webinar number 3, exam prep, and attempt mock number 2 via the exam platform, and watch the 4 master classes. Week number 5, same process, attempt mock number 3. Then something comes in, an additional task comes in. You are supposed to refer to the personalized tutor feedback for mock number 3, because from mocks 3 to 5 we are providing personalized tutor feedback. Okay, so I showed to you what personalized tutor feedback looks like. So these an evaluation. These typically the type of an evaluation you'd receive. So after going through these evaluation, you'd really know where you stand, in which syllabus areas you need to really brush up your knowledge, in which syllabus areas you have gained really good marks. So all these things, you'd have an in-depth understanding about your performance as a student. And after referring to the personalized tutor feedback, you are supposed to watch the 4 master classes pertaining to mock number 3. And in week number 6, we are conducting a live workshop, which goes on for something like 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So that's a Q&A, which you'd have with me. That's happening on the 23rd of July. And this is only open to students who had invested on the premium package. And within week number 6 itself, you are supposed to attempt mock number 4, refer to personalized tutor feedback, and watch the 4 master classes. And in week number 7, you are supposed to attempt mock number 5, refer to tutor feedback, and watch the 4 master classes which are applicable to mock number 5. And in week number 8, this is a week before the exam. So as I told you earlier, your exam window is from Wednesday to Friday. So this is a week before that. Okay, a week before that, you have the final Q&A with the tutor. So that's where we wrap up the session. And you are supposed to simply refer to answer plans of mocks 1 to 5. So you are revising theory as well as application by going through these answer plans. So, what usually happens is closer to the exam, when people are rushing, when students are rushing, when they're trying to, when they're scrambling for information, when they're trying to attempt mock exams, you guys are not attempting mock exams. Instead, you are simply referring to the answer plans of mocks 1 to 5. So you are referring to answer summaries of all 5 mocks, revising theory, improving your knowledge pertaining to application, whilst all the other students are facing a stressful environment. Okay, so if you stick to the study plan, you won't face any stress. Instead, everything is handled by us. Simply stick to the study plan and relax closer to the exam. So a week before the exam, you are not attempting any mock exams. Instead, you are simply going through study material which we have provided. You are supposed to reread the annotated pre-scene one last time and stop preparations a day prior to the exam. Sleep, eat, and rest well. So if your exam is on Wednesday, you have to stop your preparations by Monday. So if your exam is on the 10th of August, by the 8th of August, you have to stop all your work and relax on the 9th, a day before the exam, because as per the CIMA examiner, students who are highly confident, students who are relaxed, students who are not stressed out, chances of them passing the exam is extremely high. I'll take you through this information within the third webinar, exam prep, where I'll be taking you through the exam blueprint. I'll be highlighting what the CIMA examiner is telling you about, students who are not stressed out. Okay, so it's not good to stress or feel high amounts of stress closer to the exam. Instead, you are supposed to relax closer to the exam. So that's exactly what you can achieve if you stick to our study plan. So when all the other students are trying to attempt mock exams in week number 8, you are simply going through the answer plans of mocks 1 to 5 and rereading the annotated pre-scene. So you are relaxing closer to the exam. So as you can see, if you stick to our study plan, what you need to do is from the third week onwards, you are only supposed to find 3 hours at a stretch. That is also to attempt the mock exam. So on a weekly basis, you are supposed to attempt mock exams. So on a weekly basis, if you can find 3 hours, sit in one place and attempt the mock via our exam platform, that's what you're supposed to do. That's your only responsibility. Everything else is covered by us. So you are not supposed to prepare study notes or prepare study materials, slides, study summaries, answer summaries. Everything is covered by us. We are only asking you to sit in one place on a weekly basis and attempt a mock exam week by week. If you do that, you can easily pass the exam. Okay, so that's our 8-week study plan. Any questions? Any doubts? Thank you, Barakat, for your feedback. So let me also talk about what we offer at TCS. So we are offering 3 main packages: the essential, value, and premium package. So first things first, if I take you through the essentials package, if you purchase this, you'd have access to the recorded versions of the 4 webinars, as well as the 5 mock exams with suggested answers and the 4 pre-scene analysis videos. So this is priced at £99. So if you are a student who is coming through the CIMA exemption route, CIMA general route, if you have done your OTQ exams, and on top of that, if you had aced your OTQ exams, if you had not failed any of your OTQ exams, and if you have gotten really good marks at your OTQs, really good marks means something like 110 marks and above. If you have gotten more than 110 marks and above for your OTQs, then you need not have any type of mentoring, one-to-one tutoring and whatnot. You can simply refer to the mock exams and watch the 4 pre-scene analysis videos and pass your examination. So if you are comfortable with 100% self-learning, and if you had aced your OTQ exams, go for the essential pack. That's what's necessary. Then looking at the value pack, you'd gain access to the recorded versions of the webinars, 5 mock exams with suggested answers, the 4 pre-scene analysis videos, the annotated pre-scene, industry analysis cards, financial analysis cards, top 10 likely issues, familiarization kit, and access to the tutor managed live chat, as well as theory recaps pertinent to OTQ syllabus content. And the value pack is priced at £199. So if you are a student who had who is essentially coming through the CIMA general route. But if you had struggled with your OTQ exams, or if you had if you feel that you need to brush up your knowledge pertinent to your OTQ exams, there are students who have who you might be a students who might have done an OTQ exam something like 1 or 2 years back. So in such an environment, you need to brush up your knowledge pertinent to OTQ syllabus content. So if you are a student as such, then you need some additional study material which enables you to improve or brush up your knowledge pertinent to OTQ syllabus content. So if that is the case, go for the value pack, and it's priced at £199. And if you look at the premium package, you'd gain access to all the material which are provided under the value pack. On top of that, you would have access to the online mock exam platform. So if you go for the premium package, you can attempt all 5 mock exams under exam conditions via our exam platform. And you are in a position to receive one-to-one tutor feedback on mocks 3, 4, and 5. So I told you we are providing tutor feedback. So if you go for the premium package, you are in a position to receive feedback for mocks 3, 4, and 5, and you'd get your hands on answer plans of all 5 mock exams. So closer to the exam, rather than going through pages and pages of suggested answers, and rather than you having to provide or you having to develop your own study summaries based on the suggested answers, rather than you having to do it, we have done it for you via the answer plans. So you can simply refer to the answer plans closer to the exam without wasting time. And you gain access to we have made a blunder here. This needs to be 20 master classes actually. So you would gain access to all 20 videos of the master classes, and you are in a position to attend the tutor-led workshops and webinars, and you can go for the monthly installment payment option, and this comes with a pass guarantee. So let me talk about what this pass guarantee is about. So if you invest on the premium package, and still if you end up failing the exam, you will gain access to the same material free of charge in your subsequent sitting. We are not going to ask for money for the second time if you end up failing the exam, but there is only one condition which is there. If you invest on the premium package and end up failing, we are going to evaluate whether you had attempted mock exams via the exam platform. So if you have attempted all 5 mock exams via the exam platform and still end up failing, we will provide you access to similar content in the subsequent session free of charge. But there's only one condition. The only condition is that you need to attempt all 5 mock exams. If that is the case, and if you still end up failing, then that's on us. We'll take responsibility. All right. Other than that, if you attempt the 5 mock exams via the exam platform and refer to the study material which we are providing, if you watch the videos, then you will definitely pass. That's the pass guarantee which we are providing. So this premium package is a bit expensive. It's priced at £550. Yet you can go for an installment payment option. So the first installment is £99, and the 2 remaining installments of £225 each can be paid in 2 monthly installments. So you can pay the £550 across 3 months. Okay. All right. So that's what we offer. So let me talk about the pass rates which we have achieved. So the results are not out as yet for the May exam. So in February 2023, we achieved a pass rate of 85%, and we are happy to say that one of our students got the second rank for in India. So this student gained 108 marks at her examination. The pass mark is just 80 marks, but this student got 108 marks. So she was ranked second in India. So why was she, how did she achieve such a great mark as well as a rank in India because she simply stuck to our study plan. She did not work extremely hard. Instead, on a weekly basis, she attempted mock exams, allocating 3 hours of her time. If you look at the total study hours allocated on a weekly basis, it was just 7 to 8 hours, and she was relaxing closer to the exam and ended up getting a rank in India. Okay, so that's the guarantee which we are providing. So if you stick to our study plan and utilize our material, you can pass your examination easily and you can get really good marks. All right, and we are happy to say that we are offering a 50% discount on the premium package. So as I told you earlier, the premium package is £550, but we are offering 50% discount on the first installment. So you can purchase the same package for £500 if you purchase it within the upcoming 2 weeks. All right. Any questions, guys? I hope you guys understood what we are offering and what you are supposed to do when it comes to preparing for examination. Any questions? Okay, seems like there aren't any questions. Okay. All right, so having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's webinar. So you can, if you want to contact us, you can simply, send us a message via our website or email us on info@study@tcs.com or simply drop us a message via this WhatsApp number. We are always ready to help you guys out. And we invite you guys to follow us on our social media handles as well. And I forgot to tell you about TikTok. In order to make your life easier, we have developed a set of TikTok videos, 3 videos in total, which summarizes the entire pre-scene. So what I want you guys to do is on a daily basis, just keep watching these 3 TikTok videos. The time allocation for each video is just 3 minutes. So within 9 minutes, you can cover you are in a position to revise the information which is highlighted within the pre-scene within just 9 minutes. So if you keep on doing this on a daily basis, if you keep on watching these 3 videos, you need not do anything else to remember the most important information. So I will share these TikTok videos with you guys via the WhatsApp group. So if you are not yet part of it, please visit our website and simply click on this button. Then you can join our WhatsApp group. So we have made everything easy. You can get everything done via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com. And on top of that, it's better if you can follow us on our social media handles as well. So concluding thought, approach OCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. All right. So having said that, it brings us to the end of tonight's webinar. I hope you guys gained something out of this. And if you have any questions, please raise your concerns via the WhatsApp group or simply message us directly via email, or I shared you the WhatsApp number, so you can directly message us as well. And I hope that you will stick to the study techniques which we have highlighted within this webinar. And I hope that you guys will attend the 2 upcoming webinars as well, especially next Saturday's one, because it's extremely important for you to know how to develop answer plans and how to manage your time appropriately. So I hope you'd stick to our study plan. If you do, you know you can easily pass the exam, and you might be in a position to get a world rank as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next week. Good night.